Shalom. I am David, King of all of Israel. The Lord God of my father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob consecrated and anointed me king of this nation when I was but a lad. And during that time, he has used me to restore the glory to the children of Israel. I remember the times when I was in my father's flocks, caring and tending for his sheep. Those were the times that I had the most miraculous moments of communion with God. I would tend my father's flocks and play on my harp and sing songs to the everlasting Yahweh. And during those times I felt the closest to him, because at those moments I was able to worship him with my whole heart, with my whole spirit, with everything that is within me. I was able to worship my God. I sang songs, yea, I sang songs unto Zion. To my flocks I sang, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Those days, those moments of simplicity, those moments of worshiping God, they built something in my heart that made me want to follow after him everywhere that I go, in everything that I do. In fact, when I was tending my father's flocks, there was a moment when a bear came, and this bear attempted to get away with one of my father's sheep. I killed that bear. And then shortly after that, a lion came. And that lion grabbed one of my father's sheep in his teeth. And he ran away with the sheep. And I grabbed my slingshot and I ran behind him and I killed that lion. And God was pleased because he saw within me a servant's heart. There came a time when the prophet Samuel came through the land looking to anoint the next king of Israel. And during that time he came to my father's house. My father, his name is Jesse, and I had 7 brothers. And the prophet came and my father presented unto him my 7 brothers, but he left me in the fields. Left me in the fields to tend to the sheep. The prophet Samuel, he took his horn and he filled his horn with oil, and God had given him specific instructions not to allow the oil to flow out of the horn until it touched the head of the one who he wanted as king of Israel. My brothers were all tall, handsome men, striking to behold, much like King Saul. As I was a ruddy lad, I was not comely to look upon. Well, in the fullness of time, the prophet Samuel came and he placed the horn of oil upon the heads of my brothers, and the oil did not flow. And the prophet, he looked at my father and he said, there must be another, because I have specific instruction from God to find the king of Israel in this house. And my father said, all I have is my one youngest son in the fields tending my sheep. He is the youngest. You see, you must understand, in our culture, the youngest is not given the right to hold such an honor of king. He is not given the right to achieve the birthright of the father. But God so ordained that right and that honor would be upon my head. So my father came, he sent for me. And the prophet Samuel laid the horn upon my head, and the oil flowed freely on my head, signifying that I would be the next king of Israel. It was a great day. But at that time I could not ascend the throne, because it was not in God's timing for me to have the throne at that time. I had to wait, and I had to be obedient to the king that God had in place. He tried to slay me many times, and I had the opportunity to kill him several times, but I did not, because he was God's chosen. You see, when a man or a woman is chosen of God, regardless of how terrible they are, it is not up to us to take matters into our own hands. I could have slain King Saul several times, but I did not. I waited for God to do his work. It was a wonderful day. Now my life has gone to a point where my fullness of time has come. And it is getting time for me to pass my throne to my sons. I've experienced a great many tragedies in my life. I had a son to dishonor his sister. And yet I had another son that murdered his brother. And I had a son that tried to murder me. I've done some bad things in my life. My hands are covered with too much blood to build God's temple. So I will leave provisions and instructions for my son, that he may finish this great work. I am King David, ruler of all of Israel. May his peace and his mercy shine upon you.